Alright, hello everyone, I'm Ratman Horatio, and day 25 of Elden Ring. Good heavens, we've come a long way. I wish I could say, and the ending's in sight, but, it's not. There are apparently some endings that are within reach, and I simply just attempted to just grab one and try to rush to the end, but that would be disingenuous. And that is not why we are playing the game. Let's be entirely honest. We're in it, and we are stuck with it because, well, we just kind of are, aren't we? Now, during a brief post-stream conversation with the person who got me this game, who's wanted me to play it, there's the game launch frame drop, they instructed me that now that I'm at Lake of Rot, there's a boss down here, in the lake itself, and I should probably find them because it'd be funny, and I need to go talk to Ranni. Alright, as I'm going to be potentially fighting a boss in the Rot, I'm going to grab the preserving. What do we need to craft those? Oh, we have plenty. Are sacramental buds used for anything else? Anything at all? And do we care? Crystal blood. Crystal bud. And it does not appear that the sacramental buds are used for anything other than the preserving blushes. So we're going to probably be abusing that. I should... Okay, so there are 2. 3 that require crystal cave moss so far. So I'm just gonna make 10 of these. That gives me... yeah, 20 of them. Now I know I'm not gonna be at full health for this, so that isn't gonna help me. Grab the robustness increase. Now, when I was up here before, I hugged that right wall, kind of. Apparently there's something over that way. Just somewhere abouts over here-ish. Allegedly. Allegedly. So before wandering blindly into anything, we are going to look before we leap. Yeah, there's some runes over there. There's a corpse there. We know it's safe, in heavy quotes, to drop down there. Ah, and there's what we were looking for. Alright, it's going to be a minor waste, but we're going to burn one here. Position ourselves. Oh! Oh, it's still going up. That's... What do you mean it's still going up? I guess the air itself is rot. So it's about there. Oh no, it just clung to me for a while. That's concerning. Oh hey, I can use this to... Yeah, so keep that. Roughly about there. Now the question is, what is the more convenient way to get there? Is it the Grand Cloister or up over here? I'm gonna head back up to that place because I'm curious about this right area, the webbing-looking stuff. Can I go that way, or is that all just map decoration? Well, there do seem to be layers. I don't think I have access to any of the upper areas that are up thereabouts. At least not yet. Not in any meaningful way. That's death, that's ruins, that's where the boss is. I wish there was a faster way to, dispel the scarlet rot. I wonder if there are any miracles or anything that could be used. Ah, I could use the immunizing cured meat. I have several questions. I'm not going to get answers, but the questions remain. Alright, so how effective is this? We don't have many on us. Could make more. Immunizing cured meat. Immunizing white cured meat. Oh, I can choose whether I want to use a sliver of meat or a... Ah, I see. Could I use both? Or does the immunizing cured meat not stack with the immunizing white cured meat? Let's make a couple of these. And a couple of these. Well, no time like the present for anything other than science. Alright, so where is... There it is. Immunity. 352 over 152. If we consume... We'll start with the white cured meat, because I wish this told me how much... Oh, the white cured meat lasts longer, but with reduced effect. And the normal cured meat has higher immunity, helps to mitigate buildup of various poisons. Okay, I see, I see. Well, I hope this lasts a respectable amount of time. That is impressive. It unfortunately suffers from the, how do we say, the problem of it increases it, but it doesn't leave it empty when it increases. Okay, we're gonna just work our way over to that rune. We're gonna get Scarlet Rot. That's fine. We expected this. Alright, so we need to get over to that big boy over there. I like how the basilisks just pop out of the Lake of Rot completely immune to the Scarlet Rot and have zero problems or qualms with any of this. They're just like, yeah, it is another day. It is Tuesday. Would go for the HP. I don't know how close I can get to the big boy before he aggroes, which is concerning. Which physic do I have? HP and stamina recovery. Okay. Sorry, I'm prepping myself for this because I'm gonna run over there, and I'm immediately gonna have to start jumping, attacking, and boy, am I gonna be in for it. Easy as pie. Fantastic way to start the stream. We are still hemorrhaging HP because of the Scarlet Rot, but this is fine. I don't know if I made that arbitrarily harder by missing one of the contact points, but we will see. Scarlet Rot, can I convince you to calm down just a hair? Oh, yes, I made it arbitrarily harder by missing the platforms. Never let it be said that I'm smart. All right, well, I think that... Well, no, there's a door over here. Have I been over here? Sorry, I'm in a lake of, like, turbo poison, and it all looks the same. Convince the basilisks to not do their jumping attacks over and over again. That'd be great. Was it all a lie? Was it a ruse? Does this rune exist exclusively to get you to come over? Burn through your valuable healing? Just so you can kill some basilisks? I beg your pardon? I can't use torrent here. Smithing stone. Alright, there's a way up and then I can jump around on the roof for... if it pleases me. Oh, there is an item in here. uh, the mushroom crown. Raises attack power when something nearby suffers from poison or rot. Well, isn't that lovely? Why? Alright, that's all inaccessible as well, I believe. Like, that's just more cliffs, like, right up here. Alright, now that we've taken care of the dragon soldier, or whatever, let's go talk to Ranni, because that's something we were instructed to do. Because the last time we talked to Ranni, she told us to go help Blythe, and then we went to go help Blythe, and she just went to sleep and never woke back up. Alright, we don't need that anymore, apparently, allegedly, supposedly. I am repulsed to admit we should probably check on Celavis as well. Make sure he's not doing anything weird. Creepy little freak.
Ah, it was thee, not Blythe it seemeth. Even in my slumber I sensed it. It is in thy possession, is it not? The hidden treasure of Nokron.
Do you have any idea how little that narrows it down?
Finally all the pieces are in place. Soon must I begin my journey. Upon the dark path only I may tread. Ah, but before I leave, I shall entrust thee with this.
Is it a lemon? Carrying an inverted statue. Is that what I need to get through the study?
My thanks for thy sterling efforts. A strange gift, perhaps. But a rare sort such as thee would welcome it, I'm sure. I am certain now. Fate steered us to our reunion. I must thank Torrent, too, for his part. You may leave now. It was but brief. But thou gavest me fine service.
She's double-faced. I guess you could say she's beside herself.
I, too, am...
Okay, whatever. I did my job. Well, we have something related to the Karya royal family, so let's go ahead and go to place. We need to go to the Carrion Study Hall? I was just told to talk to Ranni. I wasn't told what anything does. I should probably read the description on that statue that's inverted. Guessing it's key item. I also need to go talk to Bach at some point. Fingerprint grape, tonic of forgetfulness, black knife print, peace die. Ah, here it is. Key revealing the hidden form of the Carrion Study Hall. Ah, that'll do it. Well, that looks like a pedestal. It is indeed a pedestal. I guess that explains why the place was upside down the first time through. Why am I doing this? That's a very pretty animation. I'm sure it was incredibly hard for your animators to, like, model and work it out. But why? What? I'm guessing a bunch of those hands just died simultaneously. Jumping attack, HP and everything else. Probably switch to this, or stamina during boss fights. Oh, that's vomit-inducing. Okay, so now the tower is literally upside down. I didn't mean to fall. I meant to take a step, you know, to step onto the ledge, but I flung myself. Fling yourself into space. Wait, did I fling myself, or is this roof just curved in such a way that it pushes you? This is not what I wanted when I said I was expecting a hands-on experience. Okay, so I'm still under the effects of the Great Room. Let me go ahead and grab that. I think I can keep that. Smart people can figure out what I'm doing. Did I? Yeah, I died. I fell to my death. So I'm no longer under the effect of the Great Room. But I don't need it at the moment. Oh, I see. So they're immune to rolling off the ledge. Sometimes I hate how this game handles certain things. Would you like to try and cast your bow and arrow again, or... You know, if they're just gonna accept it... You can run, but you can't run from your problems. Okay, it just did a leaping attack and it didn't fall off. Say goodnight to Miriam. It's coming to get you, Barbara. Oh. I guess Miriam's health just barely held out. Well, joke's on you, Miriam. You can't be saved. Also, gravity here seems a little more aggressive than previously. Oh, that wasn't worth it. Strength. Jumping attacks, though doing jumping attacks up here seems like a terrible decision that I really ought to not do. Lucidity. I don't know, she didn't seem too lucid to me, but what do I know? Alright, so is this one of those, like, it wants me to very carefully walk along a narrow ledge? Because I could get why, but at the same time, I really don't like the not pixel walking. Mask of Confidence. Isn't that Celavis's mask? Except he's got a giant hat. Mask with the mouth sewn shut with gold thread increases arcane. When Radagon married Renala, he ordered the Carian magic preceptors to don these masks, to make it clear that all of their matters were to be kept strictly private. You know, something tells me that this area is a little not okay. Like, there were some bits and pieces that didn't exactly translate perfectly. Sorry, when they die, it sounds like they're being summoned again, and it makes me paranoid. Alright, unless we're supposed to do chandelier hopping, which, press X to doubt, we need to go down here. I'm guessing had I not poisoned Miriam, this is where I'd be fighting her once again. I fought Miriam on the other side, and they were a teleporty bastard then. I guess I have to drop down and start reverse platforming to get to the elevator that's down there. Alrighty then. I wonder if the rats are still on the other side, you know? Or if the rats somehow inverted gravity for themselves as well. They are rats, after all. Mythical beings that they be. Oh, was that the wave of healing we got? Was it from all the rats dying? Because the hands didn't die. I assumed it was the hands, but I guess we are mistaken. The more I play this game, the more I abhor gravity magic. So, like... No, I just... no. I was gonna say something, gonna ask something, gonna think something out loud, and I've decided not to. I'll not find happiness in querying on such things. Is gravity gonna flip back while we're on the ceiling? Alright, where are we? Oh, we're headed towards the Divine Tower of... what's it called? I was gonna pop a consumable soul and level up one more time, but nah, I don't need to. Not yet, anyways. Oh, rune fragments. Really? I mean, fine by me, I guess. Not that spell, that one's annoying. Why are you so annoying? I hate the fire AoE spell. It is the worst. He missed the first time, but still got the stun. I wonder if he respawns. And I also wonder how many runes. Godskin Noble set. Wonderful. No thank you. Though I do guess that that set is entirely just made out of someone or something's skin. So it is feasible to wear. Just morally dubious. I guess we need to ask the question. Historically, we live under the assumption that the Paleolithic era humans and the advent of clothing was mostly animal hides and animal skins and furs, you know, the usual. But do you think during the earliest of wars between proper Neanderthals and ancient humans, as we are today, the primordial Homo sapiens, do you think any of them ever just killed each other and then wore each other's skin? It's really fucked up to think about, but the possibility remains. I mean, I guess it would kind of be like asking if apes or chimpanzees learned knife work. Do you think during their battles they would do such a thing? And I'd be willing to argue probably. So, what's up here? What am I collecting? Curse Mark of Death and Stargazer's Heirloom. Int? Int. And I don't know what Curse Mark of Death is. What is Curse Mark of Death? Curse mark carved into Lunar Princess Ranni's discarded flesh. Ranni the Witch, also known as the half-wheeled wound of the centipede. Didn't What's-Her-Face Fia want this? This curse mark was carved at the moment of death of the first demigod, and should have taken the shape of a circle. However, two demigods perished at the same time, breaking the curse mark into two half-wheels. Ranni was the first of the demigods whose flesh perished, while the Prince of Death perished in soul alone. So do we take this over to Fia, and Fia's just like, ah yes, now he's a proper corpse. Turning the half-dead demigod, who looks like a fish, into a full-dead demigod, sealing his fate. You know, I have the sneaking suspicion that this is a mistake. But it's a mistake we're about to make. Fia, I brought you the other half of the centipede. Oh, I immediately go into being held. Okay. Take me.
This is the other Hallowbrand.
Yes.
How did you?
Ranni gave it to me.
Utmost thanks. With this, Godwyn can take his rightful place as first of the dead and claim a second, illustrious life. You are our true champion. And though I can't be of any use to you, can I hold you tight? If only for a moment.
Oh, I don't get a say in this. She just does it anyways. Radiant Baldachin's Blessing. I don't know what that does.
I will soon lay with Godwyn, and it will surely stir within me.
Ooh.
The new life of the Golden Prince, and first dead of the demigods, as the rune of those who live in death. Please, do one thing for me. Brandish this child, my rune, and take for yourself the throne. Stay the persecution of those who live in death by becoming our Elden Lord. I will soon to conceive. Brandish my rune. Stay the persecution by become.
Okay. So if we rest, is she just gonna disappear? So we had the Baldachin thing, Baldachin's Blessing. Deathbed Companion. protection of a hidden temple in the guise of a bedchamber. Temporarily boost poise. The favor allows one to forget any aches and pains. In death, there's only peace, for in death there can be no sensation. Protection of a hidden temple in the guise of a bedchamber. This blessing is of the utmost rarity. Uses FP to temporarily raise poise. The effect lasts longer than a mere favor. It is said a deathbed companion will only produce a blessing of this kind for a champion but once in her entire lifetime. The sole blessing which she imbues of her own volition. Neat. Alright, so she's probably going to poof the moment we sit down. So let's find out. Nope, she's still there. Alright. Any more dialogue, or can... Nope, it's just instantly getting held again. Okay.
This is good, but I am sad. I choose to lie with Godwin of my own will. Not the remains of one chosen for me.
Oh, she has new dialogue.
I will bear a child who will inherit your warmth too. What greater blessing could there be but to be born a deathbed companion? This is good, but I am satisfied. I choose to, and I will inherit. What greater
Okay, so do we sit again and then she's poofed? Because that's kind of how these quests go, you know? You sit down at the... You exhaust their dialogue, you sit down, you exhaust their dialogue, you sit down, and then eventually I'm guessing she's going to be unalived. Enter the deathbed dream. You what? Where am I going? What is a deathbed dream? I have questions. Time to die. I'm already dead inside. I guess this is the logistical endpoint, yes? You what? Well, I guess that explains the arena was too large for just the deathbed champions. Torrent? No torrent. I'm on foot. Alright. Oh, that had a very, very long delay. Pretty sure they teleport you to the game Eternal Sonata here. Perhaps, I don't know. Is that Eternal Sonata, or is this something else? Oh, also, my runes are in the parallel universe, aren't... No, there they are. They're the runes. We love delayed attacks. Yeah, that just kind of sums it up. Alright, so I'm going to grab my runes, I'm going to head back to the Round Table Hold, and I'm going to purchase things, I guess. And then we're going to throw ourselves at a new boss. Oh, right, so before going in there, we need to go over our stuff. Absolutely necessary. Necessary, because if I get hit, I'm dead. That's just more damage for the jump attacks, which... Yeah, sure. This is fine. The increased stamina will help me, though stamina regen may be more favorable. Or we can go even further into the stamina hole. Because health is pretty irrelevant here. I'm dying in a hit, irregardless of what my health is at, because I haven't leveled Vigor in... probably close to 80 levels. Voice, do you want to come back to me for a little bit? Right, so we haven't leveled Vigor in about 80 levels. So that survival is very much not guaranteed. So let's go ahead, go back here. We are going to go ahead and spend our hard-earned runes. I forgot to talk to Bach. Maybe talk to Bach before this, but We don't need this because there's an entire village full of the little blighters. Alright, we're gonna buy 30 of those, 10 of these, 10 of these, 10 of these, and 9 of these. And we'll spend the rest of our stuff on bones. I assure you this build is not boneless. I could make the tranquilizer arrows. It would be funny to me, but I'm not sure what good sleep arrows are. I do not understand the magic. Right, so before we go back and start doing... throwing ourselves at a dragon who has lightning and death blight, we're gonna go ahead and talk to Bach again. Bach. Do I have the do I have the chest piece on me? I want to see if he can modify... Yes, there we go. Felum and Cloak. I wanted to look at what the Godskin Noble Hood did. Ooh. Strengthens the Noble Presence incantation. Did this one strengthen? No, just this one does. So in order to convince you to wear something that's ridiculous, it makes it so it buffs something. The Stargazer heirloom is kind of worthless to us. We are dumb as dumber than a bag of hammers, so that doesn't help us. Prince of Death's Cyst might help us. I assume that this increases our death blight resistance.
Bok, the sea ready to make a...
Nope, he cannot. Oh, there's an alternate version of this that is just basically an opened balaclava.
Oh, please do.
Alright, so what do we need here? I don't know if the red lightning counts as, you know, lightning. And I don't know how much the Bolt Drake Talisman actually protects us for. We don't need those anymore. We could try to work with that. Gotta put that away for now. We can't stack the Crimson Amber Medallion +1 with the Crimson Amber Medallions. Crimson Seed Talisman doesn't help us. Cerulean Amber Medallion might, vaguely, but... unlikely. Bolt Drake Talisman, Bolt Drake Talisman. Helic Drake? You know, we'll grab the Bolt Drake Talisman. We're probably never going to use it, but it's there. Like, we can take a moment to no, we can't take a moment to see. You know what? I feel it's kind of important that, oh, here we go. So that gives quite a lot of lightning resist. Correction, it gives us a sizable amount of damage negation for lightning. Alright, we're not going to be using a shield here. We can remove that to trim some of the proverbial fat. We're going to be using these two. We're going to need the Star Scourge Heirloom for the extra little bit of damage it gives us. We're going to equip the Bolt Drake Talisman, see if it helps us survive a single lightning strike. If it doesn't, we can remove it and put back on the Erd Tree Blessing. There is some irony that I needed to talk to Bach, and where I needed to go was basically directly beneath that. Greetings once again, Fia. Oh wow, I'm gonna have to go through this animation a bunch of times, aren't I? Let's get our Flask of Wondrous Physic ready and immediately quaff that. I'm going in, lads. Wish me luck. The hit was so delayed that I waited. I physically waited. I turned around and watched the wave come towards me. And then I rolled into it, but I rolled against his foot, so I died. I don't know if had I not missed his foot, if it would have made any difference. But it didn't seem to. Wait, I'm an idiot. I need to make adjustments to my physic, because health regen won't save me. Also, we've learned that the extra Bolt Dragon defense does not, in fact, help me here. Break enemy stance mixed in, so we're going to need that. We need the stamina regen. Go ahead and change this out, because it did not, in fact, help. Extra stamina and HP. A lot of extra HP, a lot of extra stamina. The maximum HP and equip load don't actually help me here. I'm equipping it almost exclusively for the stamina. So we can choose stamina recovery. I wish there was a stat for the stamina recovery. What do you want, phone? Discord message. From who? That might have been someone responding to the... Yep. It runs with... So, an associate in my Discord who also streams was streaming some Warhammer 40k Space Marine, and they were running into an issue where it crashes. And apparently this is an issue specifically to 16 cores, where the game will run, but anytime it tries to run an FMV, it will crash. Now, I looked at... They asked for help with it, and I checked their VOD, and... Apparently limiting their CPU to 8 cores works, but... they were still encountering freezing. So I went and I ran it. I have Windows 10, they have Windows 11, I have a 12-core CPU, they have a 16-core CPU. I ran into no problems, and they're continuing to run into problems. Hey, Nix. Apparently they figured it out. Alright, we're just gonna add some extra stamina. Not the regen, but it is what it is. And also good to see you, Nix. I haven't seen you in a couple days. It was kind of nice, the quiet. You make yourself a pest. Why are you surprised? Alright, have a good night, Nix. Alright. Seems like I'll be able to do it, but locking on is going to be a horrible prospect. The camera's going to be awful this time around, I can feel it. Oh, Right. He does weird lightning stuff. He doesn't need to be looking at me in order to get the kill. That wasn't even a 360 no-scope. That wasn't even a 180 no-scope. That was a didn't bother turn around no-scope. Does the lightning ever not lock on, or is that just you're close by, it's going to randomly strike you with lightning? Be aware and watch your own feet. Watch the boss, watch your own feet, be aware of the animations. Make sure you're in the proper position. Also, be wary of your lock-on, because if you lock onto his body, you'll miss. If you lock onto his head, you'll miss. Oh, I hate the lock-on. Now, I'm not sure if part of the problem I'm running into is that I'm ankle deep in water half the time. Because standing in water will cause you to take more electricity damage, and I think the lightning does all count as electricity. What do you mean? Okay, so this boss is gonna be horrific. It's good to know that I can get that out of the way now. This is going to suck. So bad. If I lock on, I'll miss. I have no collision with his feet unless he's trying to have collision with me. Oh, this is gonna be a mess. Alright, that wasn't too awful, mostly because incredible damage. Why did I just kill a dragon? Ooh. Mending Rune of the Death Prince. What does that do? I assume that's a key item. What do we got? It... Oh, that must be like Baldachin's, yeah? No? Oh, there it is. God, I'm behind. Can be used to mend the shattered Elden Ring. Rune gestated by Fia, the deathbed companion, used to restore the fractured Elden Ring when brandished by the Elden Lord. Formed of the two Hollowbrand half-wheels combined, it will embed the principle of life within death into the Order. The Golden Order was created by confining destined death, thus this new order will be one of death restored. Neat. We are just a hair short on...
Prince of Death, take a good long look. See the wrath of the Golden Order, the Order's justice writ in blood. This is what's become of your precious witch. Naught but expired meat and bone. This is a proper death, O Prince. Look at this rotten whore. No more children can be got from this useless flesh. Behold, your mother is dead. This is revenge, you witch. And you ghoul. This is the wrath of D.
You good?
Hello. The rotten witch is dead. The Golden Order unsullied. Now I can look my brother Darian in the eye. Honeyed rays of gold, deliver my spirit. Darian, honeyed ray. Darian, honeyed.
Okay, if I sit down, is he just gonna sword in chest? Yep. Inseparable sword and the twin set. Although I don't see his corpse around here, so did he just strip buck naked, drop his sword, and wander off into the oblivion? Oh yeah, I guess I should go pick up those not runes. I didn't have any runes on me whenever I died the second time, so I don't know why it still shows this. It's not like there's any runes in it. Alright, so Fia's been murdered by the other D. We were doing Lake of Rot stuff before I got so sidetracked. Alright, so let's go back to the Grand Cloister. Talked to Ranni, we did that, we did this, we explored around. A long way down. Let's go ahead and reset our Wondrous Physic. Take the twig back. Re-equip our shield. Oh yeah, we didn't get the inseparable sword last time. Sword forged by compounding silver and gold, a sacred weapon to hunt those who live in death. Deals holy damage. The inseparable twins found solace in the Golden Order, the only institution not to revile them as accursed beings. That is one heavy sword, isn't it? Well, no, not really. Also, I'm apparently on the precipice of being over-encumbered. Once again. If I get one more point in strength, I can just re-equip the Imp Mask. Hood of black cloth that covers the whole head, worn by Fia, the deathbed companion, on her journey after being exiled from her home. Alright, let's do minor inventory management. Sword chest. We don't need that. Or that. Dragon Scale Blade. We got this from... what's his name, didn't we? Nope, never mind. No idea. Very nice. Robe of black cloth that covers the entire body, worn by Fia. The fabric itself is soft as silk and thin enough that those embraced can feel every pulse, every bit of her warmth. Ugh. Don't need that. We carry the Lance Talisman specifically for those times where the game is just like, you need to do horse combat. And I hate it. I hate the horse combat. It isn't fun. Alright, let's grab our mask again. I wonder, did I ever find any, like, better gauntlets for what I was doing? Nope, not really. We are getting exceptionally close. Well, we could get away with not having it if we rune arc. Do we want to rune arc, however? Yeah, we'll burn another rune arc. This will bring us down to 45 rune arcs. But that will make it so that we're at maximum strength, even without the Star Scourge heirloom. Let's work our way down. The unfortunate part of this is that it's filled with pests. No, that isn't me being snide towards this particular type of enemy. They are literally called the pests. I hate the bug noises that are coming from the walls. They're in the wall. Red leaf flowers. And dew-kissed herba. I could summon my dogs. I don't think that would help a whole lot, though. Their damage was never particularly good. Oh no, I rolled in the Scarlet Rot. Ah, fuck it, we're just gonna get it anyways. There's an ulcerated tree spirit here. Of course there's an ulcerated tree spirit. That's a bit of a waste of a rune arc, but now that we know the ulcerated tree spirit is there. Also, this is suffering. Why must I run and slowly platform down over and over again? Once again, got the Scarlet Rot. Just gonna drink this real quick. Then we're going to sippy here. Run down to trigger it. Off a hair. I think this is an absolute win because I drank the Physic, and I think I'm still under its effect by the time I died. Very good. This opens up another branch, another path, because we get the level up. 6. That, remove that. Oh, why do you only give 2 if you gave a single bit more strength? You know what? We're just gonna run with 98 instead of 99. I am reviled to do such a thing, but for now, we'll grab our health regen because why not? I should probably just have health in the meantime. Fine. We could increase dexterity. I don't think either weapon has any dex scaling whatsoever. Yeah, no, neither one has any scaling with dexterity. We need to remove the pests because they exist, and I'd really rather they didn't. Go ahead, real quick, re-equip that, use our bow to pull this guy. A stationary target that I'm locked on to and I miss. Yeah, sure. Thank you, Lock-On. Very nice. God, what an abomination you are. Oh, a golden seed. Great, wonderful. Fantastic. Can I please have torrent back so I don't have to walk through the pause and... No? Okay. Well, pests are going to pest. Ah, yes, the glaive, the rare drop. Alright, last one. Very good, we'll be going in there soon. I want to check what's over here. I'm guessing we can ride in that coffin down the waterfall of blight. We can rest in it from very far away indeed. Alright, so before we go into the coffin, we are going to check what's up in this temple that the pests were... What is it? Worshipping. They were in revelry over. There's just going to be a giant scarlet rot flower, isn't there? Scorpion stinger. If only it really was just a scorpion stinger. I should probably hit those walls to see if any of them are fake, but no. Dagger fashioned from a great scorpion's tail, glistening with scarlet wrought. A ceremonial tool used by heretics, crafted from the relic of a sealed outer god. Anywho, time to ride the coffin. Abhorrent and incomprehensible. I wish not to go where this is taking me. And yet... Down and down Alice went, never once wondering how she would get back up. Well, at least this place isn't filled with scarlet rot. That's an immediate big plus. So, is this where I go through this cave a little bit and I end up in Blackreach? Because the glowing fungus on the walls has really given me the... I'm going through... What were they called? The not snow elves. I forget their names. Oh, we've got a boss. I forgot to sit down at a bonfire. Well, that's egg on my face. I can't see. Oh no. That's death. Alright, so immediately I'm noticing that this is going to be one of those fights. Right out the gate. First jumping attack. I completely lost view of my character, but I seem to have missed the attack, despite it having a pretty big hitbox. This fight involves a very long run-up. And that's death. I really wish I could see better. Lights on the ground doesn't mean a whole lot when 4 of the 5 moves cause lights to be on the ground. I guess what's going to happen here is I'm going to run at the boss repeatedly, and eventually it will not do that attack, and... yeah. I really wish there was a Site of Grace in here. That would be very, very helpful, but since there is no convenient way to get... Alright then, I have to go all the way back here, change my physic to what I need it to be, and, yeah. Alright, so, we don't need that. We'll take that. I'm gonna actually take the increased stamina. equipment. We don't need the health regen. What we need is more stamina so we can swing harder. By swing harder, I mean swing like 1 or 2 more times. We're going to take a quick trip back to the Table of Lost Grace. Hopefully I don't get ambushed by someone. Good, great, excellent. Don't care about them. Let's go ahead and pick up more smithing stones and more bones. We don't really feel the compulsion, the need to... What is it called? To grind smithing stones at the moment, so we will take our advantage to... Right. Now, I don't think any of the stuff I have currently can be upgraded. No, I did pick up a, what's it called? Smithing Stone 6 and 7, I think, in that last place. Right before the ulcerated tree spirit. So I might be able to upgrade the horn hammer. An armament. Nope, we can't. Fantastic, you love to see it. I am so strapped for Smithing Stone 7s, I can't upgrade anything. While we're here, we might as well trim the fat. We don't need this, because we already have two. And we are in heavy quotes. Good. We might as well check to see what the dragon has.
Are you here for spirit?
Oh yeah, is there anything different in what was Fia's room? Nope. Completely unchanged. Alright, so... Run through the plan, which consists of just running straight at the boss and then doing jump attacks until either it dies or I do. And we will just repeatedly do that, and that's really our only recourse, our only course of action. HP, FP, and stamina, or just HP? We'll switch over to Radahn's, because that helps us slightly more than Godric's does at this point. Because I had Godric's overwhelmingly because it added 5 points of strength. We no longer need the 5 points of strength. I could do it now. I could burn the souls. Just immediately go for the upgrade, but we're not going to. Alright, the other thing I wanted to do was see what the dragon can turn into. Remembrance. Let's see. Lightning Spear and Death Lightning. Great. Incantations. And nothing here we want or need. I guess we could buy some Radahn Spears, but... I didn't ask Crone. Alright, so as far as I'm aware, as far as I'm able, as far as I know, we are as ready as we're going to be. Our physic is prepared. Our weapons are as high as we can get them at the moment without wandering the frozen wastes for a hot minute. Oh. Not quite death. Oh, screw it. I'll just kill them and get it over with. You know, they're awful nimble for something that looks like they've just crawled out of a basement. Normally this is the part where I'd start just running past enemies. Unfortunately with those guys, their ranged attack homes incredibly heavily, and I can't avoid that. What I said about, what is it? Oh, god damn it. Well, looks like our first run back at, the Voidborn is going to be without our physic. Actually, you know what? Give me the Scarlet Rot. Skip this. We should still have Scarlet Rot whenever the cutscene ends. Hopefully we do. Alright, so we can just die now. Yep, we're just intentionally gonna die here so we can get our physic back. Hopefully he doesn't place our runes on the other side of that waterfall. Excellent. Alright, so we've got our physic, we've got our Estus, we've got our runes equipped. Go ahead, enter. Immediately drink our physic because we need to. Well, at least that didn't instantly kill me. Would have been funny if it did, though. Can I convince you to do that range attack one more time before, Oh, god damn it. There's too much going on at once. Alright, I think we can get it. If we accidentally did a normal attack while we were stuck in its hitbox and lost full sight of ourselves. I could tell from the way it sounded that it wasn't the attack I wanted to do. Let's go ahead and run back in. Hopefully we can bait out the bits we need. One of our hammers didn't connect, so we've got that opposite of going for us. There we go. Our remembrance of the natural born. I thought it was Voidborn, but whatever. $5,000 runes apiece. We want to use 3 of them. Alright, so now we are at 99 once again without the other bits. We now no longer have to equip the Star Scourge heirloom, so we can just have other things there. We are essentially set up for as best as we can. So what's this? Cannot proceed without a Ring of Oath. What is a Ring of Oath? You know, I probably wouldn't have needed to pop those runes if I'd picked up my, my bloodstain. I have no idea what this thing is called. Alright, let's... Oh, Ranni's gone good and proper. Let's head back up to Ranni's room, see if there's anything we can pilfer. Then we can go check on Celavis, as much as I'm remiss to go check on the Miscreant. I did say we should do that before, and do it I will. Also, I wonder where Blythe went. I remember he was supposed to do something somewhere, but I lost track of him. Why is there a grace in Ranni's tower now? Is there something at the other tower? I'm dead. This is fine. Don't you love it when you enter an animation and you become animation locked? It's great, isn't it? Alright, so let's go poke Celavis, see if he's got anything worthwhile to say, I guess. He's dead. Oh, I can still just acquire these. That's horrific, and I want no part of this. Alright, so it's pointing me over to Renna's Rise. So let's go check on Renna's Rise. This place is not happy. I can feel the frame drops. Oh yeah, since Celavis is dead, we should check his creep dungeon. Was this always open? Oh, Ranni stuff. The Snow Witch set. Travel to another location. Alright, take me. Where am I going? We're back in the Ansel River. Was this item always here? I saw the memes. I assumed it really was just a meme. There's just a... doll resembling Ranni the Witch. A doll resembling Ranni the Witch. From head to toe, every detail is perfect. The unresponsive doll seems pleasantly cool. Talk to miniature Ranni. Oh, all right. Let's try talking to miniature Ranni here. Nope, can't talk to miniature Ranni here. Can we only talk to miniature Ranni at the Estelle place? The Ainsel River, Maine. Oh.
Oh, a dogged fellow, aren't we?
Perhaps.
Or is it merely thy habit to talk to dolls? Fine. Fine. I hadn't expected any soul to recognize me in this guise. But now the cat is out the bag, I cannot allow thee thy freedoms. Perform for me a service as recompense. Eliminate the baleful shadows which prowl these lands. The name of Ranni the Witch is already sullied by thee. I will not brook disobedience in this matter. Perform for eliminate the baleful the name of Ranni. I will not.
So what is she referring to? The Deathbirds, the Night Cavalry, what? Ranni. Ranni. Do you have any idea how little that narrows it down, Ranni? Oh. Oh. All right. I wanna check here since we killed Radon. I don't think anything's changed. But now I feel compelled to. That is technically the closest one. No, that one is. Yeah, this is where we, in heavy quotes, cheesed the tree sentinels. It's supposed to be a double tree sentinel fight, but you can pull one back through this doorway while the other one just wanders off. Fight them one at a time at your leisure. Oh. Okay, there's nothing here. Oh, my head hurts a little bit. That laughing fit got me good. Alright, so we went down. We can't do anything with that. I don't know what Prowling Shadows are. It's not like it got marked on my map anywhere. Alright, let's go back to Castle Sol and then loop around, I guess. There's nothing... No, that's a lie. There was... No, I was gonna say, there's a lower area I need to see with that, but at the same time, no, there really isn't. You don't see anything. God damn it. You know what? Let's not and say we didn't. We've already wasted it. Wasted a flask here. Alright, so I want to come up this area. I guess check that, because why not? There's a big river here. I mean, there's also a shack, and I can never trust shacks in this game. It is nighttime, right? So if I go up to that shack, and there is a bell-bearing hunter there, now would be the time. Is that... I am directionally impaired. My ability to go from A to B is not what it should be. What? I forgot about the backwards flames. Oh... That is mildly upsetting. I went in for the attack because it's been a hot minute since I've had to fight one of those things, and I'm just like, oh yeah, I could just do the thing, and it's just like, oh, no, I can't. Also, it's not the right time of day anymore, so it's gone. No, it isn't. Oh god. And I'm dead. Alright, so this one's unique. It doesn't spawn only at night. Oh, I'm dying of coughing. Ooh. That laughing fit apparently just destroyed my lungs. Alright, thankfully the Deathrite bird has a long animation where it spawns in. But we're not on horseback. We're not going to get there in time. Alright, the backwards facing moving fires. Stop spinning camera, for fuck's sake, for 2 minutes. For 2 minutes. That's all I want, is for you to cooperate with me for 2 fucking minutes. I know it's partially my fault for being locked onto its head. Just kill me. I want this fight to reset. That was horrendous camera work there, game. That was unapologetically awful. I think I've said it before. All this game needs to do is pull the camera back a little bit so it doesn't fly around. Alright, I think I need to lock on. It will lock on default to its head, and I need to change the lock on to its body. It really sucks that it has the multiple lock-ons, and it's as horrific as it is, but... God, that's so terrible. Like, it's my own fault for not swapping lock-ons immediately. It's just... How did this get past QA? How? In what world was that just like, yep, we've seen that happen. That's entirely acceptable. That's by design. Alright. Just the camera didn't swing around on me. Death Ritual Spear. Great! Does that have anything to do with those death pokers we got? Alright, so I'm gonna go back to Castle Soul main gate. I'm gonna wait for nighttime and then head back towards that shack. For reals this time. What's going on up there, buddy? Oh, that's the giant skeleton. I forgot the giant skeleton exists. Oh, that's where we fought. What's his name? What's he called? The whip dude. Bell-bearing hunter, are you here? No? No bell-bearing hunter? Understandable and comprehensible. I'm select a different path. made a terrible mistake coming down here. Alright, at least there's this. We can use that to get back up to where we were. And the giant skeleton who does the laser beams is dead. Though he will respawn if we have to come back through this way. I'm not sure which one hit me, but this seems to just be a giant's graveyard, which is awful. I'm gonna go with awful. This place is terrible. It wouldn't be nearly as bad if they didn't have ranged attacks. But here we are. So, no, never mind. I was gonna say, so we're apparently, like, partially pursuing Ranni's questline, yes, and she had no particular issue with us fighting her mother, because it is our nature as a Tarnished, allegedly. I was going to ask the question of, like, oh, would she be upset if we, like, did the whole soul eat thing, because, yeah. But we don't actually get the souls of the bosses we killed, we get remembrances. That is some lovely hitbox game. Right, so I've come to the conclusion I don't want to actually fight in any of this area. I'm just going to run past everything. Because those giants have way too much health. They have what, 6,000 health? Per? Unless this is all being done by a Tibia Mariner that I just didn't see, haven't noticed. Which is entirely possible for old Ratty here. So, like, am I gonna get to the top of this hill and there's just gonna be a Tibia Mariner just hyperventilating on that horn? Keep all these guys summoned. There is probably more down in that graveyard that I missed because I'm not fighting all of those giants. It really isn't worth it. They've got really weird hitboxes. They've got range support. Just no thank you. Serpent arrows. Okay, I'm not actually under the effect of a Great Rune, it's just... Alright, I can go that way and deal with snakes. I can head across this bridge. Oh, there's gonna be a Erd Tree Sentinel thing, isn't there? big old tree. It's also no longer nighttime, so if there's anything else that... Well, if there's anything here that spawns at night... Yep, that's a summon sign. Or not a summon sign, but a summoning thing. Oh, there's another wizard tower. Great, wonderful. I hate it. And there's the Stake of Marika. Nope, never mind. That's not a Stake of Marika. Oh, it's an ulcerated tree spirit again. Oh, no. Okay. I expected a posture break there. That's my bad. I have to walk really far in order to get back here. That's spectacularly annoying. I would care significantly less if there was like a one of those spirit springs like right there to take me up past the giants, but nope. We gotta loop around all the way around. While we're walking, do some quick crafting. Oh, do I not have the recipe for the frozen ones? I guess not. I was gonna make some frozen Roa stuff to feed Torrent, but I guess that's not an option. The beast eye do be quivering. Oh, there's a unique animation for that. Fascinating. Alright, you know what? We're gonna head up the hill. And change our equipment real quick, because we're not going to be able to reasonably kill those things. Like I did the stationary laser one. Let's go ahead and swap the jumping attack out for the enhanced attacks on horseback. And that should help us out just a hair, just a pinch. Didn't expect it to attack like that. Oh god, we have to walk all the way back again. This is horrible. So the plan, the order of operations we're going with today is Deathroot to find that Deathroot wherever it is. And then head up and kill that tree avatar. I hate these giants. Oh, there's... Well, that one gives me the Stake of Marika. This entire graveyard would be significantly better if you actually could always consistently come back at the Stake of Marika instead of having to ride all the way back. I'm outside the Stake of Mark. Fuck me. I get that Stake of Mark is there probably specifically for that Deathrite bird. I'm not sure why it didn't feel any different from the other Deathrite birds I've killed already. But this hill that is literally just a shit ton of giant skeletons that phase into the ground the moment they're in any danger is just ugh. Revolting, disgusting. Who thought these were a good idea? Fuck it, I'll come back for the stuff later. That and their hitboxes are just why? You gotta bounce? Alright. Thanks for stopping by, Turi. I'll catch you next time. Well, at least I'm gonna have plenty of Fulgur balloons and Rhyme the Roa after this. Right. We're gonna go with the plan of disregard giants. Let's just deal with the Avatar and then worry about this place later. Make sure Torrent is at full health, feeding him an extra if need be. You know, I wonder if the what is it? Death Root is actually beneath, not there. Take a drink. Good. Oh, it spawned a clone. That's what that animation was. Well, I'll take this as an absolute win that it used what little life it had to do a useless move. Cerulean Crystal Tear and Crimson Bubble Tear. What do those do? I'll find out next time I sit down at a fire. At Lost Grace. So is there a Lost Grace around here, or am I wasting my time? Like, this feels like the kind of place that would have a Lost Grace around it, but... I guess at the same time, I guess the other Erd trees didn't always have nearby Lost Graces. They did tend to have courtesy stakes of Marika, but... Oh, demi-humans. Alright, so is there going to be a... What? Something died somewhere. There's a giant golem down there. That's... No, what are they called? The tree guardians. I guess this one is protected by demi-humans. What? Oh, there's a merchant over there. Smithing stone. I guess at some point I need to get down there and walk through the lake bed. But not right now. Stargazer's room. Which one? Oh, this was the one with the jellyfish, I think. We haven't approached it from this angle before, though. I don't think we have. Have we? No, we have. I'm dumb. We came up around and we scuttled in there and then went up and away and through. Alright, so let's double back. I mean, I say that. Yes, I think this is faster. I don't know. I will eventually probably have to clear out that graveyard full of giant skeletons. Just to see where the death root is so I can give it to Grank. Because to be entirely honest, he just seems like a deranged old beast person who just wants to eat. And I can respect that. Alright, so this is dead end. I need to go up this way, and I assume it goes round in some way, and I don't know. Oh, hey, look, a lost grace. That would have been really useful, like, 10 minutes ago. Why are you pointing me at Castle Sol? I've already been to Castle Sol. I don't think there's anything more there. I killed the boss. I got the half of the Halig Tree medallion thing. But who? Oh, way over there. I keep forgetting that the game will let enemies lock on and fire at you from ridiculous ranges. Like, for you, lock-on range is a very hard thing. It will cut off. But for enemies, they will just lock onto you through time, space, and the materium. And they will continue to attack you through reality, if they can. I'm still in combat. Goddamn archers. Please, de-aggro? There we go. Alright, there seems to be down below, which has a telescope, which I guess we're headed to, in a manner. Good luck, I hit you out of spite. Here's the bird's eye view thing. There haven't been many of these, but they exist. I like how in the description it's like, oh, you can only see what's ahead of you. No, you can turn around. There's absolutely nothing stopping you from turning around. So there's a really big frozen lake. That's the Mage's Tower. I wish I could zoom in, because it looks like the banister, the railing there is broken. Oh, we can just go down this hill to that golem that's pacing back and forth for whatever reason. I don't like this big open area. I don't know, it smells like dragon. Go poke that golem. Alright, we don't have our flask, which is unfortunate. That's not true. We're about to have a pack. Go ahead and pop a squat. Can't level up. Too poor. Oh, you're alive. Attack the feet. Alright. So we dive bombed the golems. They fought poorly and died pretty unremarkably, going to be honest. Oh, I needed them. That is unfortunate. They don't respawn, do they? If they do, that's great. If they don't, pain. Like, it's simultaneously brilliant and awful. Yeah, they don't... Oh, the one response, okay. Or do they both? Okay, they both respawn. Thank God. Oi, wake up. I need you. Two-hand our shield here. It's not going to make a whole lot of difference. It'll just make me feel better. Get back here, you shit. This is non-negotiable. Free smithing stone 7s. I love to see it. Alright, we're gonna go back up to that, we should probably go to EG and upgrade. You know, I checked on Celavis. I didn't check on EG. I guess he became just a piece of the scenery. Where is EG? Belfries. I do need an upgrade. And it's faster to go to EG than it is to go all the way back to the Round Table Hold. Hello, EG. Good to see you.
Oh, there you are. Good of you to drop by.
I require your services.
Word? Lady Ranni has departed on her journey along the dark path of Empyrean, from Renna's Rise, as she calls it. It would not have been possible without you. As Lady Ranni's war counselor, and moreover, her childhood warden, I express my deepest gratitude. You, and only you, were Lady Ranni's true champion.
What happened to Blythe?
My purpose is nearing its end. I've served Lady Ranni for as long as I can remember. It has been a long and wondrous journey. Now Lady Ranni is in your hands.
Literally.
I pray that you serve her well, unto the very end. Lady Ranni, along the dark path of Empyrean. Now Lady Ranni, I pray that you...
Alright, so now these two are caught up with each other. I wish I could compare them more conveniently, but... Plus 20, plus 20. So 247 plus 378 versus 267 plus 271. So it was the right choice to swap over to the Great Horn Hammer. Good. And you. I wonder if he has more dialogue if I sit down.
Well, my eyes walk. Lady Ranni, along the... Now, Lady... I pray that you...
Okay, he's got nothing new to say. Back up to the cold north. Ah, yes, the freezing lake. I'm gonna sit down, change it to nightfall, in case, I don't know, there's a night cavalry or something patrolling the ice. Pass time until nightfall. Alright, so we're gonna head over to that jellyfish right out the gate. No, the jellyfish don't seem to care. Oh, there's another one. Oh, boy, I hate these ones. Alright, at least this one seems to have a very simple pattern. Ash of War seppuku. I don't think that's an Ash of War. I think that's a method of suicide. It'd be windy up here. I'd like to... Remember what I said about a dragon? Oh, that is a shockwave if I've ever seen one. Nope, don't get greedy, Ratman. You know better. A new draconic power is available. Is it going to be Ice Breath? Well, that went better than expected. You know, whenever I said that lake looks unappealing and that it looks like there's going to be a dragon down there, I didn't actually know. It's just a big open area, what used to be a lake, and we fought, what, 2, 3 dragons in lakes already? Maybe 4? Like, we fought one in Liurnia of the Lake, we fought one in the Dragonburnt Ruins, which is a lake. We didn't fight one in a lake in Caelid. I'll give it that one. That one was just there. We will have to go back to the Temple of Dragon Communion at some point. We've had one dragon, yes. But what about second dragon? Oh, that's worse than any dragon. That's a lobster. I'd rather fight another dragon than go toe-to-toe with another one of the giant crayfish. Another giant lobster. So is this just Lakeside Church? Somber Miner's Bell Bearing. Well, that doesn't help me. I don't use somber weapons. One of these days, those statues are going to come alive, and I'm just going to get backhanded out of existence. Does Melina have more dialogue for here? Or she does. She do. Welcome back, Melina.
Spoken echoes of Queen Marika linger here as well. Shall I share them with you?
Sure.
In Marika's own words, hark, brave warriors. Hark, my lord Godfrey. We commend your deeds. Guidance hath delivered ye through each ordeal to the place ye stand. Put the giants to the sword and confine the flame atop the mount. Let a new epoch begin, an epoch glistening with life. Brandish the Elden ring for the age of the Erd tree. We're almost there. The flame of ruin lies just ahead. I'm glad it was you I traveled with. I must tender my thanks to Torrent, too. Thank you, Torrent. Please continue to lend your aid. Till the end.
There's just a jellyfish in the background.
Shall I turn your runes to strength? Let my hand rest upon you. For but a moment, share them with me. Your thoughts, your ambitions, the principles you would follow.
Can't use... Can't use this. We don't thrust. Ritual spear used by the priests of old who were permitted to come among the death birds. The priests became guardians of the birds through the rite of death, which also serves as an oath sworn to their distant resurrection. Neat. I've been carrying this crystal knife since, like, the start of the game. Like, oh yeah, I'll just go ahead and, like, upgrade it at some point, and then I just never did it. Witch's pointed hat, frigid and frozen. Frigid and frozen through. of a style associated with practitioners of heretical sorcery, strengthens cold sorcery. Once worn by the snowy crone who the young Ranni encountered deep in the woods. She was a witch and well versed in cold sorceries. It's said that the doll that houses Ranni's soul was modeled after her. That old witch was Ranni's secret mentor. Large hat with the movements of the stars drawn on the inside of the brim, worn by magic preceptors who serve the Carrion Royals. Increases mind to determine to the detriment of stamina. Glintstone sorceries are the descendants of astrology, a fact that the Carrion remain aware of, even if their fate has been long severed from the stars. Neat magic stuff. I wonder if we either wear that or just have it on us when we meet someone. It'll become relevant. Speaking of meeting someone, we haven't seen Selen in like 3 years. Are there still just 2 Selens kicking around in like North and South Limgrave? Yeah, Selen's still there and Selen is still down there. I still don't know why there are 2 Sorceress Selens. I don't like these open areas. They always make me feel nervous. Dog. Not a mimic. Alright, so there's a jump point up there, but we don't want to jump just yet. Giant dog jump scare. I did not expect the second giant dog. Why are there giant dogs? You know, at one point I was just like, no, I don't want to spam jumping attacks. It's dumb and I don't like it. Oh, that's a red-eyed dog. And now at this point it's just I've stopped caring. The game stopped caring a whole lot like an hour ago. Lord Contender. Is there a... Yes, there's a stake of Marca here. We might as well. Roundtable Knight Vike. Didn't we kill a different Vike earlier? I'd also like to point out how much fucking health that guy had. Good lord. Like, it's always one of those things where it's just like, oh yeah, this is just a normal human-sized dude. How much health do they have? Oh, you know, just casual, twice the maximum possible the player can ever get, even optimized for increased health. No biggie. Oh, I got greedy there. Well, if I can land 4 jumping attacks without him healing, it'll kill him. There is another way. Anyone want to see me fail at parrying? Did I get caught on his hitbox, which was far below him, while he leapt into the air? Right, I think it's in my best interest to prevent him from putting that buff on himself. I don't know if it gives him a bunch of extra health, or if he's always this healthy. Okay, extra stamina. We could double stack the stamina regen. Yeah, let's double stack stamina regen. Triple stack it with the use of this. Use our roar. The edge of the arena. He had his back to the edge of the arena. I went to go and backstab him, but I bumped up against a wall that I could barely even see. Unfortunate. So, other than just being generalized rockworms, what are these guys' deal? Are they just living ruins? Alright. Either it had a lingering hitbox, a delayed hitbox, but I will say, it sure as shit had a wide hitbox. Oh yeah, I should have grabbed my runes. Whatever, they're right there. You fucking what? Oh, I'm so upset. That was some nonsense. Rubbish. So all that was rubbish. Why does that have a weird knockback to it outside of its generalized animation? Are you telling me that with that weapon, if you had enhanced it with a bleed, it'd be like the, what was it, the dual katanas? That the entire time he's in the air, it could just stun you and apply a bleed without actually doing any damage? Why? It's probably one of the unique weapons that takes sombers, but I'm still annoyed. He just gets free poise damage. I have to actually work for mine, and his is just like, no. No, we get that for free. Ah, yes, the BM chug. I'm so upset that the hammer has such poor range. Then use a different one. You know it has poor range, and you've been contending with it the entire run, and you've been complaining about it the entire run, because its range shouldn't be this bad. Loosen up the grip. You have an entire extra foot of haft. But no, it's just holding it at the midpoint. Vikes Dragonbolt, Fingerprint Helm, Fingerprint Set. Why did we have to kill him twice? We killed him way in the north of, like, Lake of Lemuria, didn't we? Near the tower, didn't we? Like, he was... What, was he near the Frenzy Flaming Tower, or the Church of Inhibition, or... He was somewhere, like, vaguely in this area. Right, Torrent takes the day off. Oh yeah, the dogs are back since I died repeatedly. Right, let's ignore that. Did they throw enemies around randomly? Oh yeah, a frosty version of the giant dogs from Caelid. Also, fire slugs. We're in the middle. We're in the middle of a frozen tundra. Fire slugs. Doink. Oh boy, stone sword key. There's a troll over there. And there's an entire fort here. Oh, who's ready for a fort? Frost edition. Can I have Torrent back? Very dead, very frozen worshippers. Flame Guardian, the Guardian of the Flame. Something seems suspicious about that. That Flame Guardian didn't have hyperinflated health. Something's wrong here. Something's terribly, terribly wrong. How up? Is there an illusory wall here? Oh, there's a ladder. I'll never trust crates again. I always expect a rat to explode out of one. Maybe a basilisk. Or the Flame Guardian. So I'm guessing that these are supposed to be more normal-esque enemies. It's just they're using the player model to make it more interesting instead of the like the hollow model or whatever. Hollow, the is it tarnished? I don't know. The more normalized enemies. It's over this wall, but... oh, yep, it leads around. Even a convenient path here. Which I've promptly missed. What? Did anybody else see that? What? 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 I guess I picked it up through the wall, but... like, the same thing happens, like, right over here. That there must be, like, fire blossoms are on the other side of the wall. Oh, there's... yeah. It's a really weird game, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like Vike was someone important, but I can't remember what. Why, you know? Like... Watch that wall look fake. The Chief Guardian. Now he's got hyperinflated health. One-eyed shield. I wonder what his shtick was. Alright, so there's a path down over there, but what end? There's a beetle above us. Who knows what for? Or is that down below? Directional sounds are weird. Giant's prayer book. We take the fast way down because I'm not exactly known for my patience. You know, something feels wrong about trying to use a dead body as a platforming aid. But what are you gonna do? Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do, you know? Doesn't look like there's anything actually on that rooftop to go get, so... let's not and say we didn't. Guardian's Garrison. I guess, like, the big reward was that Cyclops shield. There it is. Alright, let's take care of this enemy and then... Ash of War Prelate's Charge. Well, I remember the Prelate charging at me earlier, and I'm going to assume it still has that weird fire effect on it. If it was like a normal, like, Smo's charge from Dark Souls 1, I'd be all for it. But, no. I feel like I've missed, like, a Lost Grace or 4. There's one just up ahead near the map, but that doesn't change the fact that I feel like I missed some behind. Grab the map. We open the Grace. Alright, and we have an entirely new area to look around. Oh, there was just a small path. I wonder if that was jumpable via horseback. Oh, I'm guessing that's the crucible we're looking for. What about this other direction? There doesn't seem to be an easy or good way to go for that. I was told to take the Grand Lift of Rold, or this Forbidden Lands thing, back down in order to access other place. We could do it now. Yeah, sure, we'll do it now. Oh, right, we should level up first. And ladies and gentlemen, we've made it. We've hit 99 natural strength. The heaviest of quotes, the goal of the run, the artificial, arbitrary thing. What is it? Goal has been achieved. We set out to do a thing, and we've done it. Unhelm singed and blistered by fingers. Born by Vike, Knight of the Round Table Hold, no other tarnished was closer to the throne of the Elden Lord than Vike. But without announcement, Vike traveled far below the capital and was scorched by the flame of frenzy. Did he make his choice for his maiden, or did some other force lure him with suggestion? So Vike is essentially what I'm on the precipice of becoming. If my proverbial wrath, if my proverbial scorn mounts higher... Grand lift rolled. So is there just like a second placed? No, it's just hoist medallion and hoist secret medallion. Greetings, here is the secret medallion. Ah yes, they've gone emerald-eyed. We have a little under half an hour left in our stream here today, before my alarm alerting me to turn off the stream hits. Alright, so where are we? I'm going to be honest, this has been like several, like, I want to say like close to 10 days in the making, so I can't even remember why we came here, or what we hope to accomplish. Hidden path to the Halig tree. Do we need to summon what's her name? The Albinuric woman? I forget if she wanted me to summon her in the north or here. You know, the land octopi never got fun to fight. Wasn't there a... Yeah, vulgar militia. Looks like there's a path down to the left over there, or it's just thematic breaking. Oh, that's not great. I don't like this place. I'm gonna be honest, this place feels like it's just made to be mean. Using grease. Do you mind? I wonder where the vulgar militia get the beast claw thing that Garank has. No big one? Why are they just staring at a flower? Oh, thank goodness there's a... Lost Grace. We can level up. Alright, we have spare points now. We don't need to put any more points into strength. So we're gonna start leveling vigor after 100 levels. We're getting a point in vigor. We could go endurance. But now we'll put a point in vigor. We'll start putting in to vigor. Consecrated snowfield. Where's that light coming from? Okay, yeah, we're in the place. Oh no. Show me the path, oh gentle lights, the promised path, the Halig tree. Oh no, we're gonna be moving from one prism stone to another.
Do you hear me? It is I, Netena. We have reached the land of Mikla's Halig tree, where Lobo and I began our travels. It's entirely thanks to you that I'm so close to home. These great snow-laden lands stretch far to the north, and beyond the ancient bowers, in the liturgical town of Ordina, lies the place to which I must return.
Okay. I'll have to pull her out of the sorting chest. You know what? For now, I should be more focused on getting the map of the area instead of just wandering. Who left these prism stones behind? Why? Hold on a minute. I had to slog through a shit ton of nonsense, and the game is just like, oh yeah, it's fine. Here's one, and then immediately another. Hogwash, man. Sort chest. Let's grab her out of storage. Latenna. Latenna the Albinuric. Somber smithing stone 8. So like, does this place eventually clear up? Or is it going to be snowy hell here the entire time? We've got some snowy trolls. Oh, I deserve that. The recovery on the double slam attack may be fast. It is not upset giant stomping fast. Or troll fast. But, hey, at least I have a marker there now. I know exactly where I was when I died. Go ahead and shoot past the trolls. They should stop. Oi! I guess they don't feel like stopping. That animation means that that page headshot me. I would really like visibility back. Oh, god damn it. This would be less of a problem if the page wasn't so tanky. Like, I wonder at what point normal enemies are gonna be at the point where they surpass what was it? Margit the Fell Omen's health pool. Like, and I don't mean like special enemies like Demon Ruins, Copper Demons being very, very tanky. I mean just like Silver Knights having more health than the Stray Demon. Goddamn, he quick fires that. Well, there's the Caden Knight. Oh, clearly missed. Sarcastically, of course. Though I will say, I'm not sure if the attacks had been reversed, if that would have counted as a hit for me. Why am I repeatedly going after this fucking... What are they called? The, thing in the stuff in the yeah. Like, there's a 99.99% chance that it's literally going to be worthless to me. Excuse me. There was... No, you don't get to do that. That's not cool. Yeah, that's not okay. He instantly gets up and... Like, I count this as a win for me, but it's not a good kind of win. All right, let's see what's inside. St. Trina's torch. Oh, don't tell me it's another magical torch. Candlestand torch that burns a light purple flame. Carving depicts St. Trina, but in adult form, somewhat unnervingly, light purple flame induces sleep. What? I don't have the faith for this. So, like... Is it only on attack? Is this an AoE thing? What? Oh, for fuck's sake, just guide me, oh map and the compass. Oh, that is hilarious. Only a little further now. Show me the path. Oh, gentle lights. Path to something something. Golden Rune 13. Alright, so there's going to be a catacomb somewhere. Received an email, I don't know what from. I'd like to find this catacomb that's around hereabouts before ending off the stream, because that'll be a good place to pick up. Not tomorrow. Tomorrow is Friday. We do community days on Fridays. Assuming people show up for community day, that is. Ah, here we are. We're not going to worry about that. Consecrated Snowfield Catacombs. So there are two death roots nearby that we just haven't gotten. So let's go ahead and unequip this, because... You know what? I'm really curious. Can I put something to sleep with this torch by just repeatedly smacking it? Or is the sleep build-up only on the weapon special? I deserve that for an extreme amount of hubris. The phrase karmic backlash comes to mind. Go ahead and grab our stuff. Now down there is death, without a doubt. Yep. There's an above. Ah, Smithing Stone 6. Where am I again? Just a catacombs. Oh, god damn it. Rejuvenating. Make sure it stays down. It do. Did I pick up the thing off of the imp? Yes, yes, I did. Right, it had a smithing stone. There's the stake of Marika. in the walls. Alright, so that changes things a lot. I can already tell it's going to be one of those catacombs. Also, we're at the impasse where we've capped out on damage. We physically cannot gain any more damage without upgrading our weapons. And that is locked entirely behind either RNG on what drops we get from enemies, or finding the next bell bearing or two. Also, I have no idea what the slab replacement is, and I don't know if it's going to be something I can acquire. Ah, there he is. Get fucked. I see the artificial intelligence is far more artificial than intelligent. I went into the creep. I didn't think it would breathe frost for so long. Like, that's my bad for underestimating it, but at the same time, Jesus fuck. Why is everything made out of poise and health? It bothers me immensely that they can survive the double hit if I don't, like, jump attack. And there's no way to further raise my damage outside of, I don't know, maybe a different, like, talisman or something, but I'm already as high as I can get reasonably. Oh, that's upsetting, and there's the alarm to call it. Root resin, Brava Violet. No, that wall is real. I can't go around hitting every single goddamn wall, so it looks like I'm just out of luck on that one. Big boy's still up there being annoying. Oh, you little shitter. Flashes of red with white cloak. Clean route night? Alright, I'd rather fight the clean route night. Doesn't matter how inflated the clean route night stats are, it can actually be stunned. Oi. Nope, not gonna pretend to understand. Let's just grab our loot drop. Oh, god damn it. It's like it stopped until I got to the top of the staircase, and then it was just like, alright. Alright, then normally we do the audio cues and you can hear the whooshing. But since he entered a slightly different area, we can stop in order to save resources. Alright, he got to the top of the staircase. Hit him with it again. I really do hate how they just have the tiniest sliver of health. Okay, I have nowhere near enough smithing stones to upgrade, like, my other weapon. The prerequisite one time. If I get the jumping attack, it works. It's just... Is this a waste of bone arrows? Probably. But it's not like they're fletched or anything. It's literally just bones. Alright, now we pull back really far. He de-aggros and starts walking back up the staircase. Or has he decided to walk the path of death and follow me all the way here? Observe my spectacular power of cowardice. Hold on. If that only... Well, they probably have really high ice or magic resist. I was gonna say, like, if that only does 500 and whatever damage... Couldn't I survive that? I have enough health, but then it's like, no, it's probably, like, magic. I like how they have magic, fire, lightning, and holy, but there's no frost. And here we experience the incredible levels of cowardice the Rat Man is capable of. Oh, the Clean Rot Knight respawned. Clean Rot Knight's sword. Piercing sword of the Clean Rot Knight who fought alongside Melania. Blade of Mikola. Mainly used as backup weapon in combination with a long-handled armament. I really need to end the stream, but... My god, I never said I was smart. Also, good to know the frost thing just penetrates walls and ignores them completely. Brave Glovewort. Clean Rot Knight in that corner. And there's one right around the edge. Dear camera, if there was ever a time to never do that again, that was it. It was that moment. Oh god, the way I'm supposed to go is... Ugh. It's past... No, it's up. Oh, thank God it's up. I almost had a really bad time. I almost had a terrible time. I say that, but I'm gonna go have a terrible time. Full disclosure. Zero hesitation. That wall is real. This wall is real. Alright, who's ready to make bad decisions? Come on, I need you to move a little faster. I know he's got his slam attack, which is what I'm going to be baiting out here. Come on. Come on, buddy. Bye. I'd like to take a moment to complain about delayed hitboxes and how I clearly rolled through that. But the game was just like, sorry, the hitbox lingered. You iframed through the stab itself, but the hitbox remained. And I refuse, under principle, I refuse to think and to entertain the thought of, I have repeatedly throughout the course of this run, perfectly dodged to dodge the initial hitbox of the spear, but get hit by a lingering one. Alright, do I want to even bother? No. Alright, we're gonna do the boss and then end the stream. I know I said I'd save this for tomorrow, but impulse control is never my strong suit. What do we got? I don't know what you are, but you're about to die. Putrid Grave Duelist. Okay, he's dead. Great Grave Glovewort and Rotten Grave Keeper Cloak. There's no chest or anything, it's just, alright, that dude was here and he was ready to square off, he was ready for some. Well, now I'm obligated to do something dumb, something really, really dumb. And people who are smarter than me know exactly what I'm referring to. Adios. Ah. Yes, I'm walking out of here with a healthy number of runes. Alright, we'll return to the entrance. We're gonna level up, pump those points into vigor, and that's about it. God, I forgot how terrible this is to see. I wonder what this is gonna do to the, what's it called? Compression, It's gonna have lots of artifacting. 2 levels of vigor. Right, sorry, distracted mindset. Right, thank you all so much for stopping by. I'm Ratman Horatio. That was more Elden Ring. We've made progress. I don't know what kind of progress, but progress all the same. There's a Discord for Community Day, as it is Thursday, and tomorrow is Friday. Game closing frame drop. Tomorrow is Friday, I believe, if my days are right. Yes, tomorrow is Friday, meaning Community Day, meaning Left 4 Dead 2, potentially. There's YouTube where you can watch the VODs. There's a Discord for community stuff. There is a Twitter for live alerts. There is a Twitch to watch live. I've forgotten. I think I'm missing something, or I think I repeated something. I don't know. But that's all for today. Thank you all so much for stopping by. I'll see you next time.